My name is Jack, and I'm a 34-year-old financial advisor living in Orlando, Florida. This is my story. I'll begin at the point where it cut the deepest. The day I found it, tucked inside the side pocket of her handbag, a tube of men's lubricant. Not ours, never ours. My fingers froze, pressed against the fabric as if I had touched a live wire. My wife of 9 years, the woman I trusted with everything, had never once brought anything like that into our home. Not for me. Not for us. That small item held more truth than any words ever could. She was unfaithful. I didn't yell. I didn't confront her. I zipped the bag shut, put it back exactly where it had been, and walked away. My face was a mask of calm, but inside my chest felt like it was on fire. That night, while she was in the shower, I sat on the edge of the bed, sifting through our memories as if they were old film reels. Her radiant laugh on our wedding day, her weary smile after our first miscarriage, the nights she held my hand when I couldn't sleep through the grief. For a moment, I second-guessed myself. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe there was a logical reason. But then I remembered the late office meetings. Her phone suddenly locked. The way she began sleeping at the far edge of the bed. No, I wasn't mistaken. That tube wasn't an accident. It was her signature. And signatures can't be erased. The plan didn't surface right away. Revenge never does. It brews slowly and steadily, like tea left on a low flame until it grows dark and impossible to ignore. For days I played the part of the loving husband. I kissed her cheek, cooked her meals, and listened when she pretended to be exhausted. But behind that mask I was sharpening my weapons. Not blades of steel, but the kind that cut far deeper. I started with knowledge. While she slept, I scrolled through her phone, which was lying limp in her hand like that of a guilty child. His name was Kareem. He was a co-worker, married, and a father of 2. Their messages weren't just physical, they were emotional. She confided in him things she hadn't shared with me in years. That hurt worse than the physical act. I didn't confront her. Instead, I took screenshots, saving every message as proof, all neatly stacked in a folder known only to me. It was my insurance. Then there was that silver tube mocking me from her bag. It was an open wound I couldn't ignore. One evening, when she left it on the coffee table before her shower, I acted. I twisted the cap, poured its contents down the drain, and replaced it with clear, unforgiving superglue. I sealed the tube back with precision, leaving no trace. I didn't rush, I waited. Days passed. She grew careless, confident in my supposed blindness. I watched her pack her bag for her work meetings. My hands were steady, my heart was cold. I pictured what would happen when she and Kareem finally went to use it. Skin to skin, their laughter would curdle into screams as the realization set in. It wasn't about pain, it was about public revelation. The night arrived sooner than I imagined. It was a Friday, and she casually mentioned she'd be out with coworkers. Her tone was rehearsed. I kissed her forehead, smiled like a fool, and told her not to be late. An hour later, I followed. Kareem's apartment wasn't hard to find. I had already tracked it. I parked 2 streets away, watching the shadows shift in his window. My phone buzzed. It was her text. "Don't wait up." I almost laughed. Then the performance began. 20 minutes later, shouting echoed into the night. A woman's shriek. A man's howl of agony. I crept closer, unseen. Through the parted curtains, I caught a glimpse. Kareem clutching himself, her panicked next to him. Both of them trapped in their lust-turned disaster. Neighbors gathered. Someone called an ambulance. Red and blue lights painted the walls. Kareem stumbled outside, his pants half on, humiliation pouring off him. My wife followed, tears streaming down her face, stammering explanations no one could believe. The paramedics knew. The police knew. Everyone knew. They weren't just exposed. They were finished. But I wasn't. The next morning, while she slept in the guest room, hollowed out by shame, I printed the screenshots and bound them into a neat manila envelope. Then I mailed copies to Kareem's wife, to his HR department, and finally to her parents. The fallout was instantaneous. Kareem's wife filed for divorce. His company suspended him for misconduct. Her parents called, their voices heavy with sorrow, asking how she could betray the man who had given her everything. When she woke up, her bags were waiting by the door. My silence was sharper than any curse. She begged, she wept. She swore it meant nothing. But her tears weren't for me. They were for herself. I handed her the divorce papers I had already prepared. I told her I wanted nothing but my freedom. No shouting, no insults. I simply signed, placed the pen into her trembling hand and walked away. Revenge isn't fire. It's ice. It doesn't flare wildly and quickly. It freezes slowly until the betrayer is trapped in a cage they built for themselves. When people ask me why I seem so calm, I just smile. They don't know the power of silence. They don't know the quiet satisfaction of letting someone destroy themselves with the very tools they thought were hidden. She believed she was clever. She thought I was blind. But I saw it all. I waited. I chose my moment. Now she carries scars deeper than mine. And me? I'm free. I lost a wife. But I gained something far greater. The truth that betrayal only hurts if you let it. The sharpest revenge isn't rage. It's control. And control is something I never surrendered. Not for a single second.